Hi everyone, welcome to the day 3 of ProQuality Conference 2025. My name is Nikita and I'll be the host of today's session. Please also give a warm welcome to our tech moderator Shota, who will be managing the tech stack through the presentation. Artificial intelligence has been one of the most trending topics in the testing world of the past year. Yesterday, we had an engaging talk about how to streamline the test automation process with the help of AI agents. And now we'll dive into the metamorphic testing, what it is, and how understanding this technique can help us to test AI infusion application effectively. I'm excited to introduce today's speakers, Nataliya Bogushevskaya and Dmytro Filonenko. Hello, how are you today?
We're happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah.
The guys have prepared an engaging quiz to kick off the talk. Before we begin, feel free to ask any questions via our YouTube channel during the session. We'll address them during the question and answers at the end. And I also encourage you to rate our event and set a badge to our speakers if you enjoyed the talk on our WEA community platform. So without further ado, let's get started. Guys, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. So let's at first introduce ourselves. My name is Nataliya. I'm a software testing manager at EPAM, and over the last 3 years, I've been deeply involved in the world of AI and its interaction with software testing. With the rise of next-gen AI tools, especially generative AI, I believe we must rethink the traditional testing approaches. Today, me and Dima are going to show you a testing type that has been around for a while, but hasn't got many attention. But with Gen AI, it can make a big comeback. Dima?
Yeah, hi colleagues. Thanks a lot for joining. So my name is Dmytro, and also during last year, like I hope many of you, I also been exploring the world of AI testing. And I want to understand how we can use this new technology to make our work of testing more efficient and more impactful. And along the way, I've come across many new approaches to testing, and today we would like to share one of the most interesting from my side because it's practical and we can use it. So I hope that you find the session both insightful and practical. And thanks again for being here.
And before we start, as Nikita promised, a short quiz that can provide some background on how AI is working. We will be running our quiz through Metamorphic, so you see the link on your screen. Please join it. Let's have a minute or two for everyone who wants to join this Metamorphic, and there we will have some questions and answers about AI and recognition of images. So please join. Probably you don't see the first question yet, at least I hope. But if you see, you can try to already guess the right answer. There will be just one correct answer, and act as AI generative tool with video recognition, with image recognition option. So try to understand which of proposed images might not be recognized as expected. I see that a lot of participants already joined, so let's see the first question. And it's about swan. Again, there's only one correct option. Try to guess which of those images might not be recognized as a swan by AI. It might be unusual and typical, some strange point of view. It might be not a swan at all. So what will you choose? And I see the winner, the absolute winner. For now, all the others have also, well, we don't know how generative AI was, this particular generative AI hypothetical was created, we don't know, but if we have just one attempt, then yeah, I will say that this is correct answer, the third option, because point of view is unusual. It might be a swan, but it might be a duck, or it might be just some doll, I don't know. probably this one is suspicious. Okay, let's go to the second quiz. The same answer, the same swans, well, almost the same swans, but might be that there are some changes in images, and might be that after a previous failure, some other winner will be found. Okay, thank you so much, colleagues. So again, I see a winner, and it's correct because this one is black. It's not white, especially if after a previous attempt, AI was retrained, LLM was retrained to understand that, okay, even from this point of view, it's still a swan, but all of them are white. This one is not white. It's suspicious. It's worth to check. And the last question for now. This one is tricky. A lot of helicopters, and which of them might be not recognized as helicopter? That one is a tricky, because they all are different colors, different point of views, different everything. Okay, very good. But actually, the winner is number 10. And the reason, well, actually, it's a real case. And the reason is pretty unusual for human, but, well, more than explainable from AI point of view. No blue sky. You see, all other images have helicopter plus blue sky. On this image, we don't have blue sky. And it might be that AI doesn't understand what helicopter is if it was unsupervised learning. It was just trained that, okay, this image plus this background means it's helicopter. If no blue sky, it's not a helicopter. Who knows? And that's the point of testing all the AI systems. We don't know how they are thinking. We know some algorithms, some approaches, supervised learning, unsupervised learning. That's all is good. But actually, it might be that the way of thinking is not the same as a human. And it would be good to have some kind of a traditional approach, grounded approach, but applicable for generative AI. And actually, we have such approach. Let's back to the presentation, and let's talk about metamorphic testing. Actually, metamorphic testing is well-known testing type. It was discovered long ago, but it's rather rare. It's very niche testing type. It's not in use. It was not in a huge use for many years. But with generative AI, with AI systems, it has a new life. What's the main idea of this metamorphic testing? First, we have three main concepts. Seed. We want to seed something, to test something, and we want to transform the seed in a way we know, and so we can expect the changes output. We don't know exact output. We can just assume that it will be changed with changing of seed input. So three main points. Seed input, that's what we are going to test. That's our, well, input for traditional testing, test data that we are going to use. Second one, transforming this data in a particular way. For example, if we are talking about images in swan, then changing the color of a swan is a transforming. It's a transform we are going to apply on a seed. And third one is metamorphic relationship, because we have to know known effect. What does it mean, known effect? We can say that with a changing, with such transformation, we don't expect any changes. For example, if I'm changing the color of swan, I don't expect system to say it's not S1. It's still S1 with a different color, but my relationship will be it's the same. It might increase, it should increase in positive growth in some scenario. So it might be that it will be more convenient in the output that it's one. Well, it's increasing and it might decrease. So we would like to do some negative input, some destruction. What does it mean in a similar examples? Let's assume that I would like to find the shortest distance between 2 points. It's just mathematical functions. And I have my test input. Starting point A and point B, the distance is equal to some value x. What will happen if I'm changing a start point and end point, vice versa? So I would expect they will be the same. No difference will happen because I'm going there, I'm going vice versa, they're the same. No changes at all. Okay, that will be invariance. No change. The second example is decreasing. Let's assume that I have some medical information about a person and their health details like blood pressure, habits, and etc. And estimated years of life are equal to some value. What will happen if I'm adding some negative habits to the same person, like smoking a lot of cigarettes per day, drinking a lot, etc., etc.? I can assume that life expectancy should decrease. I don't know will it happen in reality or no, but my expectation that if I'm working with large language model, if I'm working with prediction, then in this case with bad habits, life expectancy should decrease. It might be that with one transformation, we have several possible outcome at the same time. Let's assume I'm working with Google and actually it's applying of metamorphic testing in traditional testing if I'm working with large amount of data. Let's assume I'm looking for a flower in a Google and I have some number of results in some and some time was spent to find all of them. What will happen if I'm changing my search pattern not to flower but to yellow flower? At first, I'm expecting that the number of records will be decreased because flowers, okay, I have 5 Brazilians of records. Now it should be less because I'm interested just in yellow flowers. And time should be increased because, well, now I have to do some more searching, some more steps in providing results. So with seed transforming, with adding a word, I have 2 results. Time increasing, number of results decreasing. So that's metamorphic testing in a nutshell. But how it can be applied to various systems that now are integrated with AI, infused by AI. And actually, we have some classical approach where some classical systems with AI. For example, speech recognitions. And if we're talking about speech recognition, it might be some kind of virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa, Cortana, whatever. They need to understand the speech and they need to do some comment, some request from a human. It might be transcription service that really simplified a lot working of every manager and allowed to multitask more. It might be customer support. It might be chatbots, again, oriented on speech recognition, not typing. It might be accessibility in a lot of systems and a lot of applications. It might be language learning and education, because again, it's very crucial speech recognition, pronunciation when you're talking about foreign language and you are trying to learn this language, or you are educating on not a native language, and it might be hard for you to understand some specific terms from a native speaker. It might be research, it might be smart devices and Internet of Things, it might be call analytics, it might be whatever. A lot of ideas in speech recognition. In here, how can we apply metamorphic testing? Actually, we can modify something. We can modify audio characteristics, increase, decrease speech, speed, tempo, volume, pitch, whatever. So we're changing technical characteristic. We can add some environment characteristic, like we can do echo, we can do background noise, some dogs are barking, some cats are meowing, whatever. We can do microphone simulations and echo from microphone. We can manipulate audio segments, so we can do segmentation of our audio, short shuffle segments when we have some kind of a techno robot voice that happens in reality. We can do reverse playback. We can use language translation. We can add some dialect variation, because if we're talking about English, then English in any, even for native speakers, English, American English, USA English, Canada English, Australia, they're absolutely different. And in each location as well, we have to check it as well. And we can do some accent addition to a foreign language. That all will be metamorphic relationship, metamorphic transformation. And our relationship is, well, it should be the same. Doesn't matter who is asking for help for a particular, Siri, please find me something. Any language, any accent, any noise, the output should be the same. The output should not be changed. Okay, that's speech recognition. What else? We can do that the same for image recognition, because if we're working with image recognition, again, a number of applications of platforms where AI with image recognition can be applied is various. It might be facial recognition, that is a helper for any security checks. It might be healthcare for human. It might be care for vet care for our animals when you are trying to send a image of your cat, of your dog, and to understand what's wrong with your pet. It might be autonomous vehicles, because they have to understand all the signs, all the images against they have captured during the role. It might be retail, it might be e-commerce. If, for example, you're interested, I need the same t-shirt this person has, so I have a t-shirt image and I need to find where I can buy it. It might be agriculture, it might be education, it might be gaming, entertainment. Again, a lot of ideas. How can we integrate AI systems into existing systems? And now we have to test it. What can we do with metamorphic testing? We can do image rotation, scaling of an image, shifting of an image, adding some notes, some kind of a noise into the image. It might be applying blur. It might be cropping an image. It might be adjusting brightness. So all of those transformations can change our image, but result the same object. It must be recognized as the same object. So if we're talking about a swan, then rotating a swan, adding a color, adding some fancy hat on this one, it should not change the output. It must still be recognized by a swan. Next one is AI chatbots. And AI chatbots is just tremendous number of those chatbots are appearing every I would say every hour, because classical traditional bots, chatbots, when you have to pick one to have answer on that, to pick two answering on that, they are not very convenient. AI chatbots allows to have a conversation. You can say what do you want in a human language, in a human approach, and you expect to have an answer, correct answer on your question. In this case, what we are testing, actual chatbots, conversation like we have with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all those AI chatbot systems, the same can be used for chatbots, but we need to answer, for example, how to find, what to do, provide me help with my device, whatever. In this case, what have we include into our metamorphic testing, and what can we do with metamorphic testing? First, variations in spelling. It might be typos, it might be misspelling, it might be different errors that we're not perfect writers because we're not in school anymore, so it might be that we are missing some commas, we don't know how to write a complex word, etc. So that's okay, and it should not affect the result. It might be some kind of synonym substitution, because we can use one synonym, use another word, because there are a lot of words, but in some case you can apply any of them and result should be the same. It might be something like adding extra space, unnecessary space between words on the beginning, on the end. So everything of that should not affect the output. It might be language and dialect differences, because the same lift and elevator, what's correct? Well, basically both words are correct, but they are dialect and they're used in different languages. It might be code switching. It might be mixing on several languages. For example, if you're saying hola, can you help me? Hola, it's not English word, but can you help me? It's still in English. It might be some adding of smiles. What's going on? Please help. Some extra words that actually, if you remove them, nothing changed. Request should be the same, and we have to test that. Okay, system understand it. It might be emotional context. It might be using some abbreviation and acronyms, and actually a lot of chatbots are not very good in acronyms if you don't understand the context. So just try ask ChatGPT about what MT stands for. I would be very surprised if it would say metamorphic testing. It will provide something different, because typical MT is associated with some other things. So chatbot acronyms should be in here. And actually, these ideas were not implemented in one of a project, medical project, and it make a lot of problems. The idea was that we have AI chatbot for a pharmacy that will help to find the proper drug usage. For a particular disease. So basically, the expectations were that a patient, not a patient, pharma worker will provide information about some patient details like age, weight, height, disease, and will have some link how to find proper drug usage. And maybe it will be particular drug usage. System was implemented, testing was done, and testing by development team was green, everything is good. We have covered all the issues, all is good. But the first test from a real user introduced errors. It was not working as expected. Actually, it was not working at all. The problem was that this system was testing with a traditional approach. We have some predefined sentences what to ask. For example, what is the recommended dosage of particular drug for particular disease, and that's all. That was tested, and it's not working. The problem is that real users were saying that what is the recommended value, what is the recommended number, what you can recommend, etc. They were avoiding a keyword dosage. And chat was saying, I don't know. Please specify more precisely. I don't know what to answer. Without a keyword dosage, chatbot was not working. And all testing was done with this word. But real users were not using it. Actually, that is simply covered by metamorphic testing. Because if we're talking about metamorphic testing, then the first, we need to run synonym substitution. And in this case, we have some eternal golden phrase that were provided in requirements, and we need to change each word. For example, not what, but how, not is, but would be. Not, for example, this particular drug name, but it might be that it has different names, or it might have some, similar drugs with different name, but the same effect, medical effect. It might be that, again, if we're talking about disease, it might have different number, a different name. It might be that we are using, for example, non-small cell. We can use acronym, not the whole word. And that easily is created by metamorphic testing, because idea is pretty simple. We have a golden sentence, and we are changing each word on synonym, acronym, rephrasing, etc., etc. And with that, you see, dosage can be changed to amount, and testing would have found an error, but that was not done. And actually, we can do more. We can do variation in spelling, the same golden phrase, but we are changing spelling. So, for example, we can have some typos in name of the drug. We can have some typical errors in keyword dosage, in lung cancer, whatever. So, typical problems and typical errors that can be done by the human. How do you think? Is it problem to create such cases, such ideas with using generative AI tools? Actually, no. It's just a question, and it will provide you. You don't even have to know what are typical errors when we are trying to put cancer name. Okay, it will provide you. It will generate all the typical problems. And now, how to apply it to a video and to images? Dima, stage is yours.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, guys, one more time. Nataliya, thanks a lot for great presentation and also for important examples. Yeah, I think that this, for all of us, practical side of our work, it's more valuable. And to continue, yeah, let's also move to our practical demo of our workshop, where I'll demonstrate you how we can apply metamorphic testing to AI models. And for this, we will use Google Teachable Machine. So we will share with you all links, and you will be able to use this tool by your own. So this is a simple tool that allows everyone to train AI model without writing a single line of code. That's why I think that's really important, because nowadays AI is almost everywhere, and it should not be limited by any technical solutions or maybe programming knowledge and so on. So with this tool, you can build and test your own machine learning model in just a few minutes. And also, to make it a little bit practical, Nataliya mentioned this type of direction. Let's imagine, yeah, that we are creating some AI system for some grocery, for supermarket, to automatically recognize foods at the checkout. So I think that you are aware about such approaches. For example, yeah, a few years ago it was introduced by Amazon, but yeah, it will be more and more simplest. But so today we will train a model to recognize different fruit types, and what is the most important, we'll test the model using metamorphic testing. So why we choose Google Teachable Machine? As I mentioned, because it's really simple and fast. So I will demonstrate it to you, and you just in a few clicks, you can train and test your module. And no coding is required here. So anyone with any knowledge, with any technical background can train AI model and receive first results. It simply runs in the browser, so it's not necessary to install some technical solutions, some AI tools, some frameworks. And what is the most important, I think, here, that we have, not we, Google have export features, so we can easily export your trained models. So if you need to train model and integrate it into some of your websites, some of your mobile application, you can easily do it using Google Teachable Machine. Okay, and let's move to practice itself. Let me share my screen, and I will show you in real time. Okay, guys, so as I mentioned, all links will be shared with you, so please, it's not only about metamorphic testing and today's session, but please be aware about such, new sites, new AI approaches, because at first it's really interesting, fun, and useful for you. So on this Teachable Machine website, you can see what is this machine is, why do we need, how we can use, and also a ton of different tutorials, useful articles. So AI is everywhere, so please proceed working and dive deeper into it. Different useful links you can find here. But of course, we will focus right now on some practical parts, and we will work directly and learn our AI model. So we can start a new project, so we can use already existing projects, so we can also import projects from file. And as you can see, we right now, Google has three directions, man. Though this is images, audio, and poses. And as you can see, more coming soon. So it's not stoppable area. I'm pretty sure that we will have a lot of new information here. So if you have time, also play with other aspects our projects, special audio, for example, and poses for sure. It's really fun. But today we will focus on simple image project, because the main goal and the main idea to show you guys how it works. So simple actions, as you can see, I'm here just on a few clicks, and we will use some standard image model for today. Also, UI is pretty straightforward. We can see and we can create a lot of classes which we are required for our testing, for our training AI model. As I mentioned, let's focus for simplest. Today we will we will teach and train our model to recognize fruits. Let me create first classes. It will be apple. Let's add pear, and for example, orange. As you can see, we can add image samples, and this is the most important part here. We can add it using webcam or upload predefined images. So you can, for example, prepare your images, your set of samples which should be trained in this AI model. But today we will demonstrate the easiest way to use a webcam, and we will train model right now. So hi one more time, guys. Let me crop area to make it more. Okay, so how it works, it's pretty straightforward, and we will start with Apple. So of course, I've prepared a few for you guys, so also hope that you had a chance to make morning coffee or breakfast. So this is our Apple. How we add samples, just clicking on hold to record. So I press the button, and we can see that images are starting collecting. And as you can see, I'm rotating my Apple, my image, because we need to have as many images as it's possible. We don't have any limitations as for now. Yeah, we can add even 1,000 image sample, but also please take into account that the more images you edit, the more time it will take to train our model. Okay, let's focus right now on about 200 image samples, and we will see the results. Next one is our peer. The same here, guys. I will crop zone. Yeah, this is my peer, and the same here, guys. I'm adding samples for further training model. Also, let's add about 200 images. And the last but not least, our orange, the same approach here. Okay, and let's add. And as you can see, it's a small spoiler. It can be also tricky because, as you can see, it's quite similar with the Apple. So we will together understand how our model will handle this case. And so we gather all the necessary information, and we just simply can train our model by click train model. We have different parameters. You can take a look while you will work with this teachable machine. But right now, just let's preparing this training data, not to waste a lot of your time, guys. And definitely, because it's not a easiest operation, it can take some time. I also tested it previously, and as much images as you have, so it's proportionally can load your model, and it can take about few minutes even. It depends on number of classes, depends of number of images. So what we have right now, we have our model trained, and we can also input from file, from webcam. So for example, if we want to, to compare results with the files, we can also do this one. And to make this correctly, I will also crop the image. Okay, so first positive scenarios, guys. Yeah, right now we are not applying metamorphic testing. I'm just showing him to it my apple, and definitely system understand that it's 100% apple. In some angles, you can see that we can see that orange comes to us in a few percentages. But in general, I can say that briefly, this is the simplest type of metamorphic testing, because I'm changing angles, I'm changing orientation. If you have, let's see how it will appear. As you can see, guys, I'm almost removing apple, and right now our LLM is almost freaked out. It seems, I'm not sure, is it orange, is it pear? But if I'm showing for 100%, it's apple. Okay, quick review of our fruits. So pear, the same, no objections, 100% pear. But let's also make small changes or remove it. Yeah, I think that we have a good image samples right now. So yeah, it's pretty sure that it's our pear. And the last one, it's our orange. Also, what my assumption was that apple will become for a few percentages. But as you can see, image samples are also pretty good right now. Let me hide it a little bit. Okay, so guys, as we can see, our model is trained and we can receive positive scenarios. So what is important here, that we teach to recognize apple, pear, and orange, and our AI model can do this. But let's apply metamorphic testing right now. As I said, one of the easiest right now is to change some image orientation. So it's hard to do using webcam, but for example, let's imagine that we are uploading file. We can, as Nataliya mentioned, add some blur, add some background image noise, or change orientation. And also this will be type of metamorphic testing. We should understand, we should see as a testers how AI model will handle this. But just a simple, as you can see, for example, from this angle, it's also things, maybe it's an orange. But what is the easiest way? So let me change background color. Yeah, right now it's black, and I show apple. So as this was also part of Nataliya's presentation. So that even with changing of background, it should understand that it's apple. But in some angles, you can see that our AI model is not pretty sure, 100% sure. In this case, for example, Pia comes to the top. So the same, let's quickly with other. Oh, as you can see, guys, this is pretty interesting. So Pia is, so as for now, in this case, it's straightforward, but in some cases, in some angles, with another background, it's hard for AI model to understand. What it shows to us that we need to train and add more cases to train our model. Next example of metamorphic testing, and let's show some unseen objects. So I've prepared, for example, banana, and system does not see it previously, but it thinks that it's a pear. Can we, some kind not to agree with this system because we did not show it previously? And for example, this is also example of metamorphic testing. And what is the easiest for part of a metamorphic testing? We should and we can edit our image. And in our case, for example, we have apple. Let's bite it a little bit and see what we have. So I also edited, as you can see, and right now, in general, it understands that this is still apple, but in some angles, even my Apple logo, so our AI model recognized that it's not 100% sure. So this is a simplest example how we can work with AI models, and this, this teachable machine is pretty fun, as you can see. Even if I speak about poses, it can be also very, very interesting, and it can be used in different areas, for example, gaming, entertainment, and so on. So what is next step? What is important here? As I mentioned, this is our export model. So we can export our trained model. So right now it's just simple, but if we learn and train it more, make it more complex, make it more reliable, we can have a good model, pretty good model, even using this simple tool. So we can export, we can copy code, contribute to GitHub, and download, and so on and so forth. It's just simple as it is, as you can see. So simple example, we are designing self-checkout, and our system can recognize at least 3 fruits. Okay, and let's move back to our presentation. And what I want to summarize here, what we received right now, what we've shown to you guys. What is the most important part of this experiment? That AI model are sensitive to variations, to these metamorphic changes, like background, like orientation. As you saw, it's not 100% sure in some cases. That's why it's important for us as a testers to apply this metamorphic type. Also, AI models are struggle with unseen inputs. So it's important to understand that AI model, which does not see some input, it can misclarify them as something they know. So that's why we need to proper train our models. And exactly this metamorphic testing, it helps us to identify this weakness, so we can apply this and we can understand these gaps before AI is deployed to real-world application. So this is just a simple example, but it demonstrates some of key challenges of AI testing, and it's important to sum up, guys, and for your understanding. So if we only rely on some specific test cases, so as I said, Apple, please confirm that it's Apple, but in case of unseen objects, we can receive some gaps. So if we rely only test cases with expected outcomes, we might miss some zero flows, and metamorphic testing help us to find these gaps and improve our AI quality. Okay, and to sum up also, guys, we have a last quiz for you. So you heard a lot of information about metamorphic. Oh, I also see that you started answering. Thanks a lot for active participation. So guys, we have initial state. This is our first sign. As Nataliya mentioned, this type of testing can be really easily applied to self-driving vehicles for autopilot. So let's imagine that we have initial sign and other signs, and what is not a metamorphic testing transform from your point of view, based on information which you received. Please vote for images from 1 to 8, because first one, initial, it's definitely not the correct answer. Okay, we also have first leader. And while you're answering, guys, I can say that's also a little bit tricky. I'm not sure, is it help you or not? Okay, and thanks. We have a leader, but let's see what is correct answer here. Yes, guys, as I said, is a little bit tricky. So I hope that you right now, when you see this correct answer, you are right now thinking, why it's because in other images, we have some metamorphic transform. So we cross this image, we make it wider, we change background. So this is metamorphic. But on 7th screen, we can see this small additional point. This is our QR code. And why it's tricky? Because it's different AI testing type. It calls data poisoning of AI model. So it's not a topic of our today's session, but it's also very interesting. Guys, it's we can say even it's a type of cyber attack on AI model. So if you have time, also please Google it, because all of these types of testing will be with us, and it's important to understand how we can affect our AI models, not only in good way, but in the bad way as well. Okay, that's all from my side. Here you can see links to Google model, to materials. Please take a look, dive deeper into it, and hope that you will find it useful and practical.
Thank you very much, Nataliya. Thank you, Dmytro, for such a great presentation and a great demo. Uh, that was a truly insightful talk about metamorphic testing technique. Dear audience, we can see a lot of questions. If you enjoyed the talk, please scan the QR code to rate our event and give a badge to our great speakers. And now we are ready to start the Q&A session. If you haven't sent us your question yet, that's a sign to do that. So let's begin, Shota. What is human that did the testing of the chatbot? Could a prompt for another AI be used? Like, imagine how different type of users will ask about regarding their socioeconomic background.
Let me try to answer on this
Please.
question. So, yeah, it was a human who was testing, and this human was applying just traditional approaches. If it worked for this sentence, it should work for any sentences. But with Gen AI, it's not working because it might provide different results depending on different inputs. Well, technically, from point of view of human, they are different. The same are for LM. They're different. And could we use another AI to generate a variety of questions? For sure. It's called, well, it's typical approach. And short disclaimer, in EPAM, we have accelerator that is called Lime, designed for testing AI-infused chatbots. And actually, it has such an option to generate possible questions to the chatbot using metamorphic testing. So it just knowing that this type exists and you have applied. And after that, you can, better to control another LLM when you are trying to generate those test cases and say that I need, for example, from different semantic point of view, type of point of view, grammatical, dialect, missing keywords. So explicitly say what you're going to generate, not just say generate me everything, because in this case, you still might miss some important parts. So better to control using LLMs with applying metamorphic testing in the same way as you are doing with test cases. You can say that, for example, I need to apply decision table test design techniques in this case, not just equivalence partitioning. In this case, the same. I need metamorphic testing and I need to generate with shuffling keywords, with some broken questions, etc., etc.
Thank you for your answer. Could you also share your thoughts on how metamorphic testing will evolve in the future as AI systems become increasingly complex and widespread?
Well, partially I have already answered. It must be just the same, like if you're testing AI-infused application, you must apply metamorphic testing. That's all.
Thank you. In case of peel sent dosage, who was responsible for that case? Chat provided wrong data and person got hurt?
Actually, LLM that was created, neural network that was created for this chatbot, was not trained enough. So training data were not good enough, and that might be caught with good testing, but that was not done. So who chat provided data, say it was trained, chat was correct, training was not done in a proper way. And in any case, if we're talking about person got hurt, then responsibility is on a user, on a human, because human has to validate any answer, especially if it generate Gen AI, because generative AI is trying to predict what will happen. It doesn't know the correct answer. So a person has to validate the answer in any case.
And the next question. Hello and thank you for interesting topic. My question is for attendees unfamiliar with metamorphic testing, what foundational skills or knowledge do they need to get started? I think
Well,
a lot
hope
of people want to start.
Yep, hope we have already provided that. It's not rocket science and pretty easy approach. And actually, you can apply it to e-commerce when you're trying to check the output of a filtering option. So how many answers will be in the output? You don't know the exact number. You can just assume that, okay, if I'm adding keywords, if I'm adding limitation, the number should decrease. If I'm removing it, it increases. So you can apply it right now, even not with AI testing and for traditional systems. And you can use Google teachable machine like Dima showed you, and use your examples, images, whatever, and understand how to find a bug, a gap in neural network with metamorphic testing.
Thank you. Each food has more than one option. How will it proceed? So it's
Dima?
about this presentation. Yeah,
Yeah, if I understand correctly, so guys, yeah, as you saw, it's really important to have, yeah, more than one option, to more than one view, to more than one image, because it's really important to train our model, yeah, to understand what can be input, yeah, to receive correct output. So it will analyze and train model based on information that you give to it, yeah, based on images, based on samples from webcam, and so on. So to sum up, each of your image, or if we are speaking about teachable machine audio poses, you should have more than one option to receive, yeah, proper answer. So it's really important to have as much as possible.
Thank you. Is every object downloadable manually into the system? Looks very time consuming.
Yeah, it's a good question. So not exactly. So in teachable machine, Google does not use some, some default LLMs like GPT and so on. It's TensorFlow library, as you mentioned, as you saw during import. So you can take a look at it, Tensor. So it's not directly downloaded. It's used just your samples to classify, yeah, images based on input that you give. But as I said, as much input you give, as much as time take to analyze. But it's not downloaded. It's not, somewhere in Google data sources and so on. So please feel free to use your image and analyze and teach teachable machine.
Yeah, 5 cents from my side. It's not using some existing LLM. It's building a new network based on your examples.
Yeah.
And after that, you have a script how to build this model from scratch.
Thank you very much for your answers. We can see more questions. Everyone, if your questions weren't answered, don't worry. We'll address them in the comment section on YouTube and via community platform. Guys, one more time, it was a great session. I think you not just educated us, but also inspired everyone to learn metamorphic testing. Dear listeners, thank you for your support of the event. Presentation deck will be uploaded tomorrow on our talk page. Video recording will be available on our YouTube channel within 1 month after the conference. I'd like to invite you to the next talk today, happening just in a few minutes. We'll discussing transforming automation process using a lean startup mindset. Stay tuned, join ProQuality community in our social networks, and may your test always be flawless. Bye.